This is my 1965 Ford Galaxie that I bought sight unseen from Facebook. It had water in the engine, but we did get it running. This time, we look at it in more detail, see what it needs, and attempt to get it running on petrol. Welcome back. Thank you all for your comments on the last video. It seems like you all want to see more of this barge, so here we are. As this is a personal project and not a CCC project, you won't see much of Matt and Simon, so that might be a good thing. Instead, it'll be me and Ryan.
Can you speak into the mic?
Yeah, sorry.
And that might be a bad thing, as we have absolutely no charisma.
Do we know any naked people? Any naked ladies too? Do the car wash?
No,
No. Do you want to be naked?
not really. Not if you're filming me.
Anyway, back to the Galaxie. The Galaxie was made between 1959 and 1974 and was within the full-size class of car offered by Ford. This particular model is a third generation offered between 65 and 68.
A totally new suspension in which big, soft coil springs have nothing to do but act as cushions, softening the ride.
And at the time, the advertising said it was quieter than a Rolls-Royce. This particular model is a 4-door hardtop. That means there are no B-pillars in the middle of the roof to spoil the looks. This car seems to have spent its life in California, coming to the UK in 2019, passing through a couple of owners before reaching me. The first owner replaced the engine from a running and driving car before having to sell it. We managed to get it running last time, but there's still a lot wrong with it. So let's go through with what we've found so far. The engine sat in place, but there's nothing really connected up. We've got no radiator, no cooling, and half the electrics are missing. We've got a seized power steering pump, a spare one in the boot, but with the incorrect bracket, no power steering pipes. The gear linkage isn't connected. That connects there. Some wires have been chopped off. Need to work out what those are for. The carburettor was leaking. That's gone for a rebuild. There's damage to the bottom of the doors and wheel arch. Got a load of moss growing on these seals here. Missing badges, missing boot trim, damaged rear light, bent bumper. A broken door hinge. Shocking interior. We have our very own snakeskin. The dash is cracked to buggery, and this part of the dash was so bad we had to remove it. We've got a broken ignition switch but no key. Luckily we've got a new one. Got a Budweiser cap, and the car's only got 21,000 miles on the clock. No idea if any of these work because we've got no voltage regulator. It's got aircon, but we've got no aircon compressor or anything in the engine bay. The fuse box, wow, what can I say about that? That's the brake release, the handbrake release, foot dimmer switch, which doesn't work. And let's not forget we've got no headlining in here. No boot lock. But a boot that can hide 1,000,000 bodies. But it's hiding all Ryan's mini gear. There's another starter motor. Yeah, and of course, don't forget the bonnet's missing. But we have managed to get a bonnet from one of the members of the UK Galaxie Facebook group. So, thank you, Simon. Last week, Matt bought some wheels from a guy in Manchester. They both turn up and get out of the van, and the seller is surprised and greets them with, "I wasn't expecting to see you two." Matt and Simon are confused. Turns out the seller, Paul, is a big fan of the channel, and he ended up treating them like old mates. So thank you, Paul, for your hospitality.
I mean, if I turned up to buy those wheels, I'd gone away without a conversation.
I'll tell you, so it turns up, he jumps out first, doesn't he, to steal me glory, as always. And so, all I see is this Paul Tubby, he's looked and went, oh, oh Simon, my hero. And then I gets out and he goes, oh God.
It's you. Where's the one behind the camera? Oh no, he don't want to. He's actually in the van. We've been in the boot at the van. He don't want to come out. Yes, it was a very surreal
Feel
moment.
great, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Paul's made us feel uber guilty. So Mike's got to do an episode a week now.
But why haven't we been putting the videos out on the
No,
marina?
no, say that. Because we don't been doing any work on the marina. That's why.
No, why is that then? What's the plan? Why is it taking us? Why is it taking a?
Why are you being so horrible to me?
I'm not.
On
I'm
camera.
not. But why is it? Let's explain. Because we
Anyway.
need some bits.
I'll bleep that out.
So no, come on, let's explain why is the marina taking a stall?
So I had a good idea. Bear with me. A national
You're changing
organisation.
the subject. You're changing the
A
subject
national
again.
organisation of crap car
Because
collectors.
the idea was it was meant to
Local garages where blokes can go, take
be. No,
the
you're
car,
changing the subject.
do some,
What,
you
just
know,
drink tea and
just-
eat biscuits.
Yeah, because that's what blokes need to do.
That was meant to be at NEC this weekend, just gone.
I had no time to go.
No, I'm not about you.
I
I'm
thought
about
you
the
were
marina.
taking it.
Marina.
I thought you and Mikey were taking it.
So, but it's still there.
You and Michael were supposed to be doing that.
Mike's distracted. He's dealing with a barge outside now.
How was your barge, Michael?
My badge is fine.
And how's the Galaxy?
And with that, we never did get an explanation from Matt as to why the marina project has stalled.
Stop it.
Don't forget, we're having a meet-up on the 23rd of November between 10 and 2. It's near the Magic Rock Brewing Company, if you know where that is. Right, so with the seats out, this is quite solid at the front. We move to the back, we've got holes in the floor there, holes in the transmission tunnel, and a couple of holes down here. Under the rear seat, it looks solid. I bought a vacuum cleaner from Aldi. Let's see whether it's any good. That's blow. Just found a 1 cent down the back of the sofa. Well, bench seat. Makes it all worthwhile. Ooh, there's another one. The pen was for a company called Camelot Electric Supply, and they had 2 branches in the California desert. So if it's lived there all its life, that's why it's in such a good condition. We drove from California to Nevada last year, and it's f***ing hot. I'm going to attempt to take the aircon unit out. You can't see the wiring down here is really messy. Well, this is definitely an aftermarket unit. No idea when it went in. Fed cool is the button.
anyway. There is some cut-off wiring going through the whole. Along with the pipe work. Even though the wiring's a bit shit, I'm gonna see whether I can get any life out of it. So I just need to remove that and plug it into the new ignition switch, put the key in, put the battery on. Let's see what happens. Right, so I've wired in the voltage regulator. This mess is for the alternator, which I'm not going to put on. Connected the battery. And these two wires here have changed the ends, those go to the ignition switch. So round in the car, managed to wire in the ignition switch. That was a bit of a fiddle. So let's see if anything, well, any of the lights come on. Nothing. Ooh. Got one light. And it turns over. Well, I'm surprised. We've got all the fuses down there need sorting out, so that's probably why half the lights aren't on. But yeah, I need to go through and have a look and see what these lights are.
The next day we were back. Ryan had refitted the rebuilt carburettor and replaced the end of the battery lead. Then we set about fitting the coolant hoses.
In the back of
The radiator will be going in soon, but we need to make up some brackets first.
One red one to that one, I think. I can't remember.
Off camera, I fixed the wires that I'd shown earlier that had been snipped. They were to the oil pressure switch, the temperature sender and the coil. We've temporarily disconnected the coil so it doesn't start when we turn it over now.
Oh, I've got an oil light. Yeah, and a light underneath, so that's probably the generator.
Ryan quickly reconnected the coil before throwing petrol down the carb.
Right, go for it. Right. Oh, hang on. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I've got lights, but oil pressure light went out, which is good.
Ryan then fiddled around with the carbs, setting the floats in the mixture. Can you hear it? There's a bit of a clicking sound coming from the top of the engine. We didn't know whether this was dry rockers, so we would have to do some investigation.
So why is this thing knocking?
There still seems to be a bit of water in the sump, so we'll be giving the engine a few flushes to get rid of that and to try and clean up the oil ways.
I don't understand that at all. It's not catching anything. That's its bearings in bloody thing. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still missing a couple here. Oh, still missing them. Oh no, that's got a little bit on it. That's just started.
Yeah.
So we're missing 2. That one and that one. They've all got it now, I think. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they've all got it. It's getting better. So I just wanted to work out why that's knocking. This needs bolting down properly. I don't know.
Investigation into the tapping is ongoing. So, what are the plans for this old barge? Well, first up, we need to protect the underside as there's very little protection from rust. No problem in the deserts of California, but not so good for the streets of Wakefield. Whilst that's happening, the holes in the floors will be repaired. Then we need to sort out the fuel system, clean the tank and fit new pipes.
It's coming.
Then we need to rebuild the brakes. Then sort out an interior. And whilst all this is happening, Ryan will be getting the engine running just right before fitting a lovely exhaust to get that V8 rumble. And no, we're not painting it. Oh, one last thing, we need a name for this project. I know Matt doesn't like naming cars, but I wouldn't mind, so let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.
So, plan is.
Quiet on set!
Okay!
No, he's just going to carry on now. I didn't know that. Let's have, while I'm talking, let's have another bacon rasher.
They're not bacon rashers, they're bacon streaks.